Bill Kelly from the CAIA Association, David Allen, great to see you.
Bill, thanks for having us. I'm chair of CFA Society of New York. Good to be here.
And the CEO of CAIA Association, and the partnership between CAIA and the CFA societies around the world have really defined success in this forum. But it's interesting, right before we hit the roll, you had said to me, why are we here? Why are we here?
Well, I think why CAIA is so important in this day and age. 40 years ago, in 1984, you could buy a treasury that yielded 14%, and inflation was 5%. So that's a real yield of 9%. You can't get a real yield of 9%. Maybe you get 1.5%, 2%. That's why we're here. That's why CAIA is such an important part of the investment landscape.
And it's funny, not just the yields, but you look at what's happened over the last decade and going back even more, capital formation and value creation is happening in the private markets in the equity world. And since Dodd-Frank, the banks are not lending anymore. So if you and I are responsible for in retirement, I don't know about you, I do not have my own defined benefit plan, we have to find ways of getting access to those private markets. So it's a critically important difference now versus maybe back when inflation was quite small and yields were sustaining much higher.
It's a great point. I mean, the GFC created a gigantic vacuum, and asset classes like private credit have grown to fill the gap.
Well, we're here today for a day and a half. We're in the discovery business. We do about a dozen of these around the world, and without the partnership, Dave, we would be nowhere. So thank you, appreciate it.
Fantastic, thank you for having me.